My child, your entire world is about to be flipped upside down, not by fate, but by a lawsuit. Yes, you heard that right. You are about to be sued, and it's happening next week. But who is going to sue you next week? Why? For what? And most importantly, where do you begin finding the right lawyer? After all, you only have 7 days. Everything you want to know will be revealed to you in this message today. So without wasting time, let's begin, my child. Listen to me carefully, because I am not whispering out of fear. I am not speaking in riddles. I am speaking clearly, directly, and I am speaking with a purpose that goes deeper than the surface. You think this is just noise. You think this is just tension building up in your mind. But you need to understand, this is a spiritual notification. This is a divine alert. An invisible signal that you are walking into a moment where the physical world is reacting to something that is actually happening beyond the physical. The lawsuit is not just paperwork. It is a manifestation of something deeper that has been moving silently in the background. And I want you to know, gently and without panic, that I am fully aware of every detail that is forming against you. There are people planning, there are documents being prepared, there are signatures forming on pages you have not seen yet, and there are conversations happening behind doors where your name is mentioned without your presence, and I do not want you to be blind to this. I am not telling you this to create fear. Fear does not come from me. I tell you this so you walk with awareness, not shock. So you stay grounded, not confused. So your heart stays steady, not panicked. Because when you are caught off guard, your spirit becomes scattered. But when you are informed, your heart becomes anchored. That is why I speak now, before the storm arrives physically. And I want you to breathe slowly as you hear me, because you must know that I did not bring this message to you out of chaos. I brought it to you in calm timing, because preparation before the moment is grace, and I am giving you grace in advance. There is nothing random about this. They think they are working in secret. But I am the God who sees the unseen. I see the long hallway before they even step into the room. I see the file before they even type your initials. I see the decision before the idea even forms in their mind. The lawsuit is not accidental. They have been planning this silently. It has been building slowly. They waited until they thought the moment was beneficial for them. They waited until they thought you were vulnerable enough to strike. They waited until they thought you were tired enough to not notice. But I noticed. And I am revealing this to you now because information is a spiritual shield. Knowledge is not fear, knowledge is protection. When you know, you can move. When you know, you can adjust. When you know, you can prepare. My child, this is not to shake you. This is to steady you. And I want you to hold this in your heart gently. I am not letting you walk into next week as a victim. I am guiding you so you enter next week as someone whose eyes are open. And in this moment right now, it is not panic that I want you to feel. It is awareness. The people preparing this case against you are certain you will not see it coming. They have underestimated the timing of heaven. They have believed that their hidden preparation equals guaranteed victory. But I have stepped into this moment early, before they make their move public. I am here to instruct you step by step so your spirit stays grounded and your discernment stays active. And I want you to listen without rushing, because spiritual clarity requires slow hearing. I need you to understand something deeper. Lawsuits are not always about legal conflict on earth. Sometimes lawsuits are the physical form of a spiritual jealousy that has been building in the atmosphere. Some people do not fight you face to face because they do not have the courage. So they fight you through systems, through paper, through signatures, through technicalities. They want the world to do their damage. They want the system to silence your voice so they do not have to reveal their own bitterness in public. This is not only a legal moment. This is a spiritual expression of resentment. They want to weaken you through structure because they could not weaken you through conversation. They could not weaken you through gossip. They could not weaken you through doubt. So now, they want to weaken you through what looks like logic and documentation. This is why, my child, the lawyer you choose matters. Not because the evidence is real, but because the trap is subtle. The case is not built on truth. The case is built on projection. They are projecting their insecurity into a legal storyline so it looks justified. They are not trying to prove something legally. They are trying to damage you emotionally. The lawsuit is the weapon, not the point. The case is the disguise. The courtroom is just the stage. The real target is your confidence. So listen with calm breath. They are not after your money, they are after your peace. They are not after your possessions, they are after the stability inside your soul. They are not after your reputation because they think you are guilty, they are after your reputation because they fear the weight of your influence. This is not punishment. This is intimidation. They want to corner you. They want to create pressure so you break from the inside before anything even reaches the judge. They believe that if they can make you feel overwhelmed, then maybe you will surrender before you even enter the courtroom. They want your mind to collapse. They want anxiety to weaken your steps. They want your clarity to become blurry. They want doubt to swallow your confidence. My child, they are not strategizing against your bank account, they are strategizing against your emotional strength. And this is why I speak in advance. I reveal what they think is hidden. And I do it gently. I do it softly. I do it in calm rhythm. Because the enemy uses chaos as fuel. But I use stillness as defense. I do not fight panic with panic. I fight panic with clarity. And clarity does not shout. Clarity sits down inside you like a silent weight and gives you the ability to breathe steady while others expect you to collapse. That is why my voice is calm now. Not because the situation is small. Not because the lawsuit is fake. Not because the threat is imaginary. But because calmness is spiritual authority. Calmness is strength that does not need noise. Calmness is protection that does not need panic. Calmness is the shield that makes the enemy powerless. My child, I will not raise my voice inside you. I will not shake you with fear. I will not rush your breath. Because the moment you hear me in peace, the traps against you lose their effectiveness. You are not stepping into this weak blind. You are stepping into this weak informed. And when the spirit is informed, anxiety cannot dominate it. When truth arrives, fear loses its oxygen. What they are building is not greater than what I am preparing. They believe they have the upper hand because they are already filling documents. They believe they have advantage because they are already speaking behind your back. They believe they are ahead because they started planning early. But they do not understand, heaven does not measure power by who prepares first. Heaven measures power by who stands in truth. They think their preparation is a guarantee. But your connection to me is a greater guarantee. And while they write your name into files, I am writing strength into your spirit. While they type accusations, I am placing clarity into your awareness. While they gather their agreements, I am gathering your steps. They are organizing against you. I am organizing within you. And what forms inside a person is more powerful than what forms outside. Now understand gently, I did not tell you to find a lawyer because the system is stronger than me. I told you to find a lawyer because your participation is part of your testimony. Some victories require human hands. Some victories require earthly representation. Not because heaven needs help, but because heaven sometimes chooses to work through people to shape destiny. There are lawyers who defend facts. And there are lawyers who defend souls. You need the one who carries both. You need someone whose mind does not panic when pressure arrives. You need someone whose wisdom does not collapse when the case becomes deeply layered. You need someone who does not see this as just another file but sees the spiritual weight behind the strategy. You need someone who understands that this moment is not just legal, it is prophetic. You need someone who does not simply speak in court but understands the timing of divine intervention. And I will lead you to this person. Not by forcing you. Not by rushing you. Not by confusing you. But through a gentle indicator. A small sign. A small moment. A small name. A small suggestion. Something subtle. Something that will appear like coincidence to the normal eye. But to you, it will feel like recognition. It will feel like inner confirmation. It will feel like a quiet light turning on in your awareness. And you will know. Not because the sign is loud. But because your spirit will feel peace when the name appears. Peace is the indicator of direction. Peace is how I guide you. This lawsuit is not the end. This lawsuit is not destruction. This lawsuit is not punishment. This lawsuit is a transition point. A portal moment. A shift in your timeline. A moment where hidden intentions of others are being exposed not by your investigation, but by their own decision to file what they think will hurt you. People reveal their hearts when they choose their methods. They believe they are exposing you. But in reality, they are exposing themselves. And my child, I need you to understand this with calm acceptance. There is no pain that is wasted when it reveals truth. There is no attack that is useless when it reveals the character of those who pretend to care. There is no betrayal that is meaningless when it shows you who never deserved access to you. This lawsuit is a mask removal. This lawsuit is a sudden clarity. This lawsuit is a spiritual spotlight shining directly onto those who smiled beside you but never wished you well within. And I know you may feel tired. I know you may feel heavy. I know you may ask, why do people do this? And I tell you, because your existence unsettles the insecurity inside them. You carry presence. You carry purpose. You carry identity. You carry elevation. And elevation provokes jealousy in those who refuse to grow. My child, understand this slowly. Some people do not hate you because of what you did. They hate you because of who you are. They hate you because your growth reminds them of their stagnation. They hate you because your courage exposes their fear. They hate you because your clarity shows how unclear they are within themselves. They hate you because your peace highlights their inner restlessness. They hate you because your rising threatens their illusion of superiority. The lawsuit they are forming is not a legal attack, it is an emotional reaction to your existence. They want to stop your movement because your movement reveals their lack of progression. They want to silence your steps because your footsteps echo louder than their achievements. This is not about justice. This is about insecurity being weaponized. And I am not telling you this to create bitterness in your heart. Bitterness is poison. I do not want it in your spirit. What I want is understanding. Because understanding keeps the heart soft while the eyes stay open. When you understand what is happening, you do not take the attack personally. You do not collapse into confusion. You do not drown in questions. You simply realize, this is not about you doing wrong. This is about others failing to grow. And so, my child, I need you to hold your inner calm as you walk these next days. I need you to take every step slow and conscious, because wisdom does not rush. Wisdom observes. Wisdom listens. Wisdom waits. Wisdom does not panic when the enemy moves, because wisdom knows that the enemy is predictable. Those who move in darkness always reveal themselves eventually, not because you discover them, but because their own jealousy forces them into the light. This lawsuit, this paper, this file, this legal move, it is not sudden to me. It is only sudden to you. And that is why I speak now, so you are aligned before the moment arrives physically. Your 7 days are not 7 days of fear. They are 7 days of preparation. They are 7 days of alignment. They are 7 days of inner centering. Warriors are not built in comfort. Warriors are built in clarity. And clarity is arriving now, word by word, breath by breath, quietly, steadily, until your spirit stands still and firm inside you. You are not alone in this week. Do not walk in the mindset of, everyone is against me. That is not truth. I am with you. And if I am with you, then even those who appear many, are spiritually few. Because the number of people against you does not determine the outcome. Your connection to divine alignment determines the outcome. One person guided by heaven can overpower 100 guided by jealousy. A single step taken in wisdom can destroy 10 steps taken through hatred. The strength of those trying to harm you is not measured by how many they are, their strength is measured by how grounded you are. And you will be grounded. I will not allow fear to take root inside you. I will not allow panic to dictate your decisions. I will not allow anxiety to infiltrate your breathing. That is why I speak before their papers arrive. That is why I reveal the intention before you see the document. That is why I give you awareness before the week begins. Because awareness is protection. And protection is not always physical, sometimes protection is insight. You have not lost control of your life. Things are not falling apart. This is not the end. This is a divine interruption to expose the energy around you that pretended to be peaceful. This is correction of environment. This is cleansing of hidden toxins. This is the universe removing wolves disguised as supporters. Sometimes justice begins by revealing who cannot walk with you into your next chapter. And my child, hear me gently, you are entering a new chapter. They think they are ending your path. But actually, they are signaling the beginning of a new path. Every legal moment carries weight, but it also carries transformation. This lawsuit is not the destruction point, it is the turning point. You are not being pushed down, you are being positioned. They think they are blocking your journey, but actually, they are confirming your elevation. Because nobody fights what is not rising. Nobody plots against what is not powerful. Nobody attacks what is not becoming significant. People do not sue the ordinary. They sue what threatens their comfort. You have become a threat to the comfort of those who wanted you small. You have become unsettling to those who wanted you silent. You have become a reflection that reveals who they are not. And instead of growing, they are attacking. But they cannot stop what is already written. Their papers do not rewrite your destiny. They only reveal their fear of it. Breathe, my child. Let your heart rest. Let your mind settle. You are not stepping into this week alone. You are stepping into this week with divine supervision on every detail. And when you walk under supervision, you walk differently. You walk slowly. You walk consciously. You walk calmly. Because calmness is not weakness, calmness is spiritual maturity. Calmness is confidence rooted in the unseen. Calmness is proof that your strength does not depend on their peace, your strength depends on my presence. The lawyer will come. The right one. Not the popular one. Not the noisy one. Not the one who advertises ability, but the one who quietly carries wisdom. And when the sign appears, it will be simple. It will not feel forced. It will feel natural. And you will recognize it, not because it is loud, but because your spirit will feel peace around their name. There is no rush. Do not choose quickly. Do not grab the first option because of fear. Fear makes decisions fast, but fast decisions are almost always weak decisions. Wait for peace. Wait for that soft inner confirmation. Because when peace touches your heart about someone, that means heaven has aligned that person for your path. And listen to this slowly, the people who are planning this case against you believe they are using the legal system as a weapon. They think the structure will protect their intentions. But they are mistaken. Because legal systems judge evidence, but divine arrangements judge motives. Even if they hide their intentions under proper language, their motive is still visible in the spiritual realm. Nothing they do is invisible to me. Every sentence they try to twist is already known. Every angle they are trying to manipulate is already exposed. They may be hidden from your knowledge, but they are not hidden from my sight. I do not show you their faces yet, because their identity is not your focus right now. If you focus on knowing who too early, your mind becomes distracted from the preparation you need to do within yourself. When the moment is right, their identity will reveal itself naturally, not through rumors, but through their own action. They will unmask themselves. Evil cannot stay anonymous forever. When people want to strike, their ego forces them to reveal their hand. They cannot resist the pride of feeling superior. They want recognition more than anonymity, so they will expose themselves without realizing they did. Your task right now is not revenge. Your task is not anger. Your task is not emotional retaliation. Your task is alignment. Inner alignment. Mental alignment. Emotional alignment. Spiritual alignment. Because if your spirit is stable, nothing can break you. If your spirit is calm, nothing can throw you off balance. Your strength is not in noise, your strength is in being unshaken. Do you know why I speak softly? Because only people who carry power deeply can speak softly and still move mountains. People who fear they are weak need volume. People who are grounded do not. You are being grounded right now. This moment is not random. This message is not coincidence. This guidance is not an accident. I am preparing your inner self before the external moment arrives. Because if your inner world is balanced, the outer attack loses its power. They think next week will surprise you. They think next week will shake you. They think next week will break you. But next week is only a surprise to those who are unaware. And you are not unaware anymore. You are informed. You are prepared. You are strengthened from the inside before the outside arrives. You are walking into this moment already aligned with higher clarity. My child, those 7 days will not be 7 days of fear. They will be 7 days of elevation. 7 days of inner sharpened discernment. 7 days of quiet revelation. 7 days of gentle empowerment. 7 days of spiritual preparation. You are not going into this week to lose. You are going into this week to witness the truth that has been hiding for a long time. People think paperwork gives them power, but paperwork has no power against truth. Paper is weak against divine intention. Paper bends. Truth does not. They think their voices will dominate the courtroom. They think their accusations will be louder than your defense. But they do not realize, I have already been speaking into the atmosphere before they even type the first letter. I do not prepare at the last moment. I prepare before the moment. I do not respond to what they do, I shape what they cannot control. Your story is not written by their claims. Your future is not determined by their papers. Your strength is not dependent on how they view you. Your identity is not shaped by their lies. You are not small. You are not weak. You are not trapped. You are not helpless. You are carried. You are guided. You are protected. You are supported from a level they cannot reach. You walk under supervision from a realm they cannot access. You are shielded by clarity from above. And when clarity meets confusion, confusion collapses. Do not fear their structure. Do not fear their confidence. Do not fear their unity. People who gather in darkness always believe they are invincible because they confuse secrecy with power. But secrecy only protects temporary moments. Truth protects destiny. And destiny always wins in the long run. My child, believe this softly, you are not being prepared to survive. You are being prepared to win. Your spiritual strength is being refined. Your emotional inner space is being strengthened. Your awareness is being sharpened. Not to avoid the battle, but to walk through it with calm authority. That calm authority is your shield. So next week will not shake you. It will reveal you. And when it is all over, those who tried to trap you will be exposed by the trap they built. Every plot eventually collapses onto the hands that formed it. That is the nature of injustice. Darkness eventually suffocates its own creators. Now breathe deeply. Hold this message gently. Let it settle into your system. Let it align your thoughts. Let it quiet your spirit. There is nothing to fear. Everything is already seen. Everything is already known. Everything is already being shaped beyond the visible layer. My child, now listen softly. The storm you were warned about is not coming to destroy you, but to reveal what was hidden. The lawsuit they filed is not the end of your journey. It is simply the moment where masks fall off. I have already gone ahead of you into the future. I have already stood in the timeline you have not walked into yet. And I tell you clearly, you are not walking into defeat. You are walking into exposure. They think this case will take something away from you. But this case will only remove what never belonged with you. This week you will see two things clearly: who pretends to care, who truly stands with you. This is not a week of breaking. This is a week of revealing. Do not worry about the arguments they are preparing. Do not worry about the words they want to twist. Do not worry about the lies they want to present as evidence. Lies may arrive first, but truth always stands last. And the sign of the lawyer will appear gently. It will not be loud. It will not be confusing. It will simply feel like peace. You will know. Your spirit will know. Your heart will know. And my child, when you finally step into that courtroom moment, do not speak from fear. Speak from clarity. Speak from calm. Speak from the strength that comes from knowing you are not standing alone. I will stand beside you. And this case that was meant to break you, will become the moment that marks your shift. They plan to trap you. But I am turning that trap into your testimony. So breathe. Be still. Do not run from this moment. Walk into it with quiet power. Because the final outcome will not be written by their hands, it will be sealed by mine.